Hi, I'm Neelam Sanghera. I'll be presenting my Informal Classroom Assessment assignment for my course, The Evaluation of Learning 3230. Well, hello there. After completing the Teaching Goals Inventory, I decided to pick the Background Knowledge Probe for my Informal Classroom Assessment Technique. Let's learn a little bit about Background Knowledge Probe Classroom Assessment Technique. The description. Background Knowledge Probe is an informal formative classroom assessment technique that is used prior to the start of a course or topic. According to the CATS Index by Related TGI cluster, it falls under cluster number 3, which is the discipline-specific knowledge and skills cluster. The assessment technique consists of short and easy questions based on the learner's prior knowledge about the course or topic. Short answers or multiple choice items can be used for this assessment. This assessment provides the instructor with feedback on the learner to determine what level the learner might be on about the course or topic. Additionally, this assessment can also be used post-course or topic to assess the differences in knowledge before and after. Now, let's learn a little bit about the purpose. For the instructor, the purpose of the Background Knowledge Probe assessment is to establish a starting point dependent on the information gathered from the assessment. It also provides the instructor with feedback on indications of preparedness for the course or topic. Now, for the learner, the purpose of the Background Knowledge Probe assessment is a self-assessment of what they might already know about the course or topic, as well as what to expect to learn from the course or topic too. It also provides the learner with a before and after self-assessment feedback on their knowledge about the course or topic. Now, let's look at the step-by-step procedure. Number 1, taking into consideration what the learner may already know about the course or topic, use one simple fact that they might know about the course or topic matter, and use this fact to transition into other items for assessment. Number 2, plan and create items for informal assessment that will probe the learner's prior knowledge of the course or topic matter. This can consist of 5 to 10 short answer questions, 2 or 3 open-ended questions, or 10 to 12 multiple choice questions. Carefully phrase the sentences and pick words that the learner will be familiar with. Number 3, communicate to the learner verbally that the questions are not tests or quizzes and that the learner is not marked on assessment. Either use short questionnaires given to the learner or write open-ended questions on the board. Guide the learner to answer the questions briefly in a few sentences. Discuss with the learner that the answers will provide feedback to you in order to adapt the course or topic instructions to successfully provide or deliver content of value. Number 4, when you have collected the answers to the assessment, review them and rate them. For example, you could rate each assessment from 1 to 4 for background knowledge, 1 being rated as the lowest background knowledge and 4 being rated as the highest. Then put them into 2 piles. One pile, the unprepared pile from 1 to 2, and then the prepared file, which would be 3 and 4. This will help you determine which learners are prepared. Number 5, after analyzing the data or information and reviewing the completed assessments, at the beginning of the next section or class, provide the results and discuss the answers based on the assessment's answers to let the learner know how the learner and you will be affected. Now, let's look at the step-by-step. Let's look at the pros for this assessment. The assessment provides data on the learner's prior knowledge and skills regarding the course matter. The instructor can deliver familiar information for the starting point, so the learner can relate to the information. The instructor can review the assessment answer to have a starting point for the instructions. The learners connect their past experiences or prior knowledge to the course or topic matter. This will guide them to combine their old knowledge to their new knowledge. The assessment will enrich the learner's learning journey. Let's look at the disadvantages. The learner might find responding to the background knowledge probe questions frustrating. The learner might get discouraged about the course or topic if they are not knowledgeable on the probe questions. The instructor's expectations and the learner's answers to the background knowledge probe questions might not match up, which could overwhelm the instructor. Realignment of the content might be needed if the feedback doesn't align with what is expected. That means changing the content, which could be a lot of work. Now, let's take a look at the background knowledge probe assessment technique for my course. So, in my Goldman ceiling lift and slings course, I know the learner already uses lifts and slings, so I would have to assess what type of lift and slings they use currently, what they like about them, and how they use them and why they use them. I would communicate to the learner what the assessment is for and that it is not a test or quiz. I would verbally communicate the following. This assessment is not a test or quiz and is not going to be graded. This test is an assessment to gather information on your prior knowledge on patient lifts and slings. Your answers will provide me with feedback for this course. Keep your answers brief, within 1 to 2 sentences. You have 30 minutes to complete it. Thank you, and you may start the assessment. I would put together short open-ended answers questionnaire on paper and then hand them out to each learner. The learner on their own would complete the assessment. Following are examples of questions that I would use for the Goldman Ceiling Lift and Slings course. I would time this for 30 minutes, and after the learner has completed the assessment or the 30 minutes are up, I'd ask the learner to hand in the assessments. I would then rate the answers for each question from 1 to 4, 1 being rated the lowest on knowledge and 4 being the highest. I would place all the 1 to 2 rated in one pile, which would be the unprepared learner's assessment answers, and the 3 to 4 rated in another pile, which would be the prepared learner's assessment answers. At the beginning of the next session, I would let the learners know that the assessment has provided me with feedback to understand what knowledge level each learner is at. I would explain that this would help me determine a baseline for the course. I would have a Q&A session for 10 to 20 minutes about the assessment or discuss in a group. I would make content adjustments if they were needed. And that's all for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.